back. And, before I do that, well, what's in the paper today, Dad? And the date, for that matter.
Elizabeth Taylor, March 24th. She's all over the sections.
And she's all over, period. Right?
Yeah.
What?
She's
Liz?
all over. Yes.
One of the stories about her in the first section of the paper was when they were filming Cleopatra, and one of the lesser players, he was Brutus or Julius or somebody, and he said, "Let's hurry up, I have to go to Wales in 3 days for my sister's wedding." And Richard Burton says, "Forget about it, you can't go. We got to finish this." And Elizabeth stepped in and said, "You go." Everybody has to go to their sister's wedding.
Right.
I've been to enough weddings to know.
Right.
Including 2 with you, right?
Oh, I think she said this to the young boy who wanted to go.
Oh, that's right. Very good. Yes, I was
So
focusing
she
on my
overruled
filming.
Richard.
Well done, yes.
Well, didn't you say she was a producer too? He wasn't the only one. Wasn't that the line?
I think I read somewhere this morning that she has 10 grandchildren.
She's 4. They said her 4 children were
children.
with her as she died.
Yeah.
Did they name who they are? The oldest would be a Hilton.
They didn't give them last names.
Oh, they should have.
Yeah,
That would have been interesting.
yeah.
I don't know who I know there was a Hilton, but I don't know who the others were.
I don't think there was a Michael Todd offspring.
There might have been.
Well,
I think there was a Michael Todd, actually. But he was 1 year old or less when his father died.
Oh, well, yeah, the father, Michael Todd, died pretty soon after the wedding.
Or maybe he was born posthumously from the father,
Yeah.
if that's the right word.
Sounds right.
can you, when you're done,
Means,
can you scoot over just a bit?
oh,
to
I
the-
don't think I'm made up enough for
Oh,
pictures.
yeah, that's cinéma vérité.
Oh, God. Because life is brutal enough, isn't it?
So, are you relieved or disappointed that you also had 4 children, but you don't have 10 grandchildren?
Oh,
I'm delighted with our 4 children.
Well,
I'm
yes, I'm
blessed.
sure.
and the 3 grandchildren, of course.
4 now.
Oh, 4, yeah.
Yes, yes.
You better amend that. He's
Well,
just
we
so
haven't said the
new.
year yet. So, you said March 22nd,
24th.
24th.
2011.
Oh, it was today, right? Yes, but I guess she died. Did she die on your birthday, or was it the day after? I should know because it wasn't. No, because I remember looking at the paper this morning and thinking, it made it today, because I heard about it yesterday morning,
yes,
but
on
it was too
TV
late for the
and radio.
papers.
Oh, too late for the papers.
Ahead of
So
the
it must have been
print.
on Tuesday, the 22nd.
22nd.
My favorite number, usually.
22nd.
22. Day I went to my first rock
I
concert.
thought she might have been a little bit older than 79, but I guess they wouldn't.
What's your
After
name?
she's dead, they wouldn't fudge it. Sophia Loren has never aged. She's always 70, I think.
Ah,
How about Gina Lalla Brigida?
Is she still around?
Yeah, I think so.
or did she die at the young age of 70? Mom, you were telling me a story I wanted to record this morning. We've just been cleaning out some of the stuff in the laundry room, and I came across the squirt bottle to clean your records, your vinyl records with, and you said that your mother had wax
Yes,
records.
wax records.
And then what did she do with them?
That was in the 30s. Once they developed a crack, which I suppose would be easy, she used to hold them over the flame of the stove. They were gas stove, I guess. And they would not entirely melt, but soften. And they assumed, the discs assumed lovely sort of fluted shapes. And then she would chill them and paint them Chinese red lacquer, I know. And they made fruit bowls, bread bowls, whatever you wanted to put in. But they were quite, and all on their own. They just assumed this very pleasant shape.
They curled up.
Were they black?
Oh, they,
Yes.
Originally, the
yeah,
wax?
they were
Well, I've
like
never, I can't
vinyl,
visualize
they were
the
made of wax.
wax.
Yep.
Huh.
I don't know
Wow,
if
she-
vinyl would do that, would it?
Don't think so.
No. Be smelly for one thing, I'm sure. If you melted it. But, oh, wow, wasn't she industrious that she'd
Well, she was.
whip out her paint and
Yes.
Huh. And how long would they last as bowls,
Good
do you know?
point. That I don't remember. Perhaps not very long.
They'd melt in Phoenix, at least if they were in the
No,
garage or
yes,
something.
wouldn't do in a hot climate, that's true. And they were purely decorative.
Was that done in your household, Dad, as well? Do you know?
I
Or-
don't remember that we had a record player,
Oh,
so we wouldn't have had any wax
No.
records.
We had one of the first portables. We had a portable record player in the 30s. And you cranked, I think you cranked the first one. The next one was electric. But,
And it was portable?
oh, yes.
The only ones I remember, neighbors and so on, they were big.
Oh, no, this was in a
Pieces
wood
of
box.
furniture.
Well, Dad had the first portable typewriter, too.
I
And
still
He
have
was-
them.
It's in the crawl space.
he was a man on the move. He liked to
And
have
the
things.
record player was, it would be heavy because it was a wood box.
Right.
But it was.
You could take it from one room
possible for a
to another.
strong person to carry it, and it wasn't that big. It was a small suitcase. And we had. I remember one record was What News. It was a
Oh,
comic.
puns and
It was the master of the house coming home from a business trip. He'd been away some months. And his chauffeur met him at the station. And on the way home, he said, well...
Charlie?
Farley, or who was Jack Benny's chauffeur?
Rochester.
Rochester. Well, Rochester, what news? And Rochester said, oh, nothing much has happened. He said, oh, and isn't there anything happened in all that time? He said, your dog died. And he said, oh, poor old Rover, I'm sorry. How did he die? Well, he was burned. Oh, well, the fire from the garage, where the cars were, I guess, set fire to the house, and he was in the back of the house, locked in a room or something. So your dog died. And what happened to the car? Oh, well, the other car was gone because your wife ran away with the chauffeur.
Yep.
But other than that, there's no news. No.
Ah,
So it was a
nice
joke.
welcoming home
Right.
story. And then would there be other ones? Because that wouldn't. I'm sure he embroidered that, but that still probably wouldn't take very
I
long.
can't remember the title of it, but it was a question. These were verbal ones, I guess. There was a little music around them. There, and there. What? Do you remember ever hearing that?
I think so, yeah. Exactly.
That was the punchline, but what was the question?
We were just discussing that it's a skill to be able to recite jokes you've heard before. I do not have that talent.
Oh, no, I
But
don't remember jokes.
you may be excused. This is from a little ways back. That's funny.
And we had music, good classical music.
Like Beethoven
Vivaldo
or
was one of Dad's favorites. I think we had that. And
I
Can
have
you-
his early typewriter as part of my museum of typewriters in the crawl space.
oh,
it was portable too. I remember using it, and it was very carryable.
Yeah.
Because most of them were big monsters that covered the top of the desk.
why do you think he was so high tech for his day.
It wasn't that he was high tech. He had been an office clerk before the war for Manders Brothers,
Which war?
the First World War.
Well, he was in both.
Well, yes, and so he learned to type. Then.
Was this still in Wolverhampton, or
Yes,
had they
in
moved? Okay.
Wolverhampton. And he learned. I think he may even have taught himself, or maybe went to night school and learned shorthand.
They had night school?
Yes.
Wow.
Night school was very big then.
They still don't have night school in France.
Really?
Or
Well,
not
because if
recently.
you hadn't been lucky enough to be sent to college, you had to work 9 to 5.
Yeah, no, night school's great.
He went to night school and he learned a lot. I don't honestly know. I wish I did know what courses he took, but he certainly perfected his shorthand. I think he practiced writing the Bible in shorthand.
Oh, wow.
As an exercise.
Wow.
To do that. I don't say he completed it. I don't know.
I guess not.
But he started
There'd
it,
be odd words in there, too.
just as an exercise
Huh.
to do it.
Begat.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that would be a boring one.
I wonder how you... Yeah, what's the short form, or the shorthand for baguette? That no one uses shorthand anymore.
No, it's all...
I guess you can record
dictaphone,
things.
isn't
Or
it? When did dictaphones come in?
I
Gotcha.
don't know. I know they're out now.
Yes.
I don't even think I know what they are.
What do executives do today when they want to dictate a letter?
I've seen doctors use handheld recording devices, and I think they can be plugged into a computer after that.
And that will transmit it.
In some cases, yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? So that's voice activated.
Yes, on the computer, yes, to retrieve the sound
That's wonderful.
and write it. Yeah, still on my list of things to do up here. Look into that.
What?
Just the possibilities of software for low vision computer users.
You can talk to the computer.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. And it talks back to you?
It might. I don't.
I mean,
I guess that would make sense. Yes,
Says
yes, yes. It would have to.
clearly.
Yeah, that may be a problem. True.
It probably sounds like this, but can you hum me a bar or two of which symphony did you say you had? Grandpa Rollo and Grandma Rollo had the Maldi. Well, I recognized it, but
Your
What piece was
father's
it?
much better than I.
It's not a symphony. It's what do they call it? A tone poem, or
oh,
it's an evocation of the river. La, da, 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 da,
oh, I love that one. What is it called again? Malda. Was that the name of the river? I heard that just in the last few weeks on K-Bach, and I've got to write that down because I heard it, the name, and it didn't ring a bell. The name. Who is that? So that's the name of the river, and then who was the composer? It was it was not a common name. He didn't. Maybe it was a. Yes, I think that maybe maybe it was a.
Must be in the old Czechoslovakia, is it? The
The Moda?
Smetana's
Czech Republic, I
isn't it?
think.
Yeah, I'm using the larger area.
Right. Well,
Oh, yeah,
grant
the
you.
old Czechoslovakia. One or the other.
Oh. Maybe it was one of those what they call now a one-hit wonder. Maybe that was his only claim to fame.
Oh,
That's
An
beautiful.
opera, The Bartered Bride.
The who bride?
Bartered.
Bartered. Like, give me 5, he'll give me 10, 10, 10, 15, 15, going for 20.
That's the whole opera, The Bartered
Bargained.
Bride.
The auctioned, is that the word?
Well, they wanted the alliteration, I guess.
Yeah.
The bartered bride. Don't like the sound of that.
No, it doesn't sound very good. One of my offered.
Oh, wow. So you listened to that as a girl then. The da 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 da. Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that one. Huh. And when did you first get a record player then, Dad? What were you on Sterling Street still?
I don't remember that we ever had a record player.
Hmm. Did your parents listen to music on the radio?
Yes, yeah, they listened to Saturday afternoon Metropolitan Opera. At least it was
Everybody
on.
did.
I don't know whether they were listening.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if they
think
didn't like it, they'd have turned it off, I presume.
And we had a piano, and I was taking
yes,
lessons.
Yes.
Right.
There was some piano music, such as it was.
Oh,
What-
you were good.
Oh, I
Ken
don't.
Rogers used to drop in, and we'd play the duet part.
Ken Rogers was his name?
Yeah.
So-
Oh, as opposed to
Where
there's
did
a
he live?
famous Kenny Rogers, but
That's right.
country
Where
sort of
did
folk.
Ken Rogers live?
It was down on one of those cross streets from Quebec to Adelaide. Princess, or
Oh, yes, yes. I know
Lorne
Princess.
Avenue. That's where the school was.
Which school?
Lorne Avenue School, public school. I didn't
Oh.
go there, but he did.
And of course, I know you masterfully played the boogie woogie, but
Oh, yes.
what
Well-
other types of music did you like to play, or were you interested?
Whatever I had to prepare for the next lesson. But,
When did you stop taking music lessons? How old would you be?
ooh, before collegiate,
Yeah,
Hmm.
12.
still in high school, still in public school.
In elementary, yes.
Do you remember why you stopped? You decided it wasn't
I
fun
got a
anymore?
paper route. I
Aw,
made some money.
harsh reality hit.
Yeah.
But you had a good mastery of
You must have started quite young then, I would think.
I
If you'd
don't
stopped
remember
by
what
14 or
yeah.
13. Do you remember your piano teacher?
Burpee Harris.
Burpee? Where do you think of names like this?
Was it Harris or Jackson?
Luther was his real name.
Luther Jackson?
Jackson, yes.
Yeah.
I had, funnily enough, had him too.
Really?
But I took lessons at the school, which he didn't come to our home. After school, there were several of us went.
Well,
For
that's
some
the way we did it.
phenomenal,
Too.
Some like 50 cents a lesson. That was obviously... Well, my mother was at work, too, until 6 o'clock. She probably didn't want me having people in the house when she wasn't there.
She'd rather have you hang out with Burpee.
Yeah, I didn't have the problems with him that you did, fortunately.
Oh, what kind of problems?
He turned out later on at Western, we met his daughter, Doris Jackson.
Oh,
was
yeah,
his
yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
And I was rather surprised when I learned that connection. Now, I think he perhaps was interested in young, developing little girls.
Uh-oh.
And
So your
I
mother made the round.
found that I seemed to be held to be the last one in the class. And there was never any physical
But you felt
activity,
uncomfortable.
But I was uncomfortable. I don't
Did you
know.
Ever tell your mother? Do you
Oh, I
remember?
did. And
Oh,
I
good
said
for
I
you.
don't want to go back anymore.
Right.
And I'd had a woman teacher up until last year, and I liked her, and I got along, and I liked piano lessons, so that was unfortunate.
You couldn't have found another teacher. I guess not if it was at
Not
the
at
school.
school,
You didn't have a
no,
choice.
They only had one, but
So that was Luther Jackson.
I think that was his name.
I guess
yes.
I was the only one who had Burpee Harris.
Oh, who was he?
He came after Luther Jackson.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, to teach you piano?
Yeah, oh yeah, piano teacher.
Oh, I thought you found Luther Burpee, but I didn't know
No.
you had two.
Burpee
Oh.
Jackson.
Ah.
He would sit on the bench beside me, burping away.
Oh dear.
Oh, so he earned his nickname then, did he?
E of C.
Oh, jeez. I wonder what he was doing. Drinking beer or something?
I don't know
What
what
would
he
make
was
him be burping, I wonder? Oh. But you enjoyed the lessons, despite the burping,
Well,
or?
I didn't enjoy the practicing. The lessons were all right, I guess.
But you obviously had talent for it. You were good.
Did either
Well,
of your...
Aunt Agnes was quite a pianist, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, did either of your parents play on the piano?
No,
Yes,
no.
no?
I
But
don't
I
know why
remember Agnes asking our children to play Blue Danube on the
Mm.
Oh,
Terrace Street piano because she thought that was the lowest common denominator.
How did we fare?
Not brilliantly, I'm afraid.
Probably the reason we didn't have a record player was that the piano was a piano player, rolls.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
We had
That's
quite a
right.
library of rolls
I don't think I heard.
that you pump your feet on the
So you had to be sitting at the piano in order
Yeah.
to listen to the music.
And working out physically.
Ah, before Stairmasters.
That's right.
Huh.
It was very effective the way they played.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened to all those piano rolls. They went somewhere.
Right. Or the piano.
No, I don't know what happened to them.
It was
What's
quite
it?
a tour de force getting a piano into Cathcart Street because
Yes,
the staircase
they were steep.
turned.
Yeah.
They had to. I didn't see it. Mary used to say she remembered it. She must have been home when it was delivered. They took the windows out of
Oh,
the
my.
apartment next to ours, the front ones. How? I didn't realize it would work, but they did it, and they hauled it up on ropes and into the second floor that way.
Wow.
And then it could be wheeled.
Mm-hmm.
But it must have been a tricky business.
Oh, yes. Do you remember being there when it left the premises or the piano?
When did it go? I presumably it went out the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It was there until your parents moved, I think, wasn't it?
It could have been. Mother used to play, and Dad did.
Did he? I remember Grandma Rollo playing. I don't remember
Yes,
Grandpa playing.
she had one of those great talents that she could play a piece if you hummed her the tune.
That is a talent.
That's how
playing by
she
ear,
met
so what is it?
Dad, because she did that at the Chapel Royal in Brighton, which was used for entertaining the wounded soldiers and those who were coming for officers' training. And my father was fitted both bills.
Mm-hmm.
He was gassed and
Mustard gas,
And
correct?
he-
Yeah.
yes, and he earned his commission in the trenches, which is the hard way to do it, not starting out going to officers' training school. And Mother and my maternal grandfather, whom I never met, I wish I had. He sounded like an interesting person. He was musical. I think there may have been some Welsh blood because he named one daughter Gladys and another one Phyllis, which are very Welsh names, the ones that end in is, like Persis and Glynis. There are a lot of Welsh girls' names. And his sister lived in Wales, so.
Oh, yes, there must have been.
But I know nothing about.
And this is the Diplock family?
He was, yes, George David or David George. Gosh, our
Is he like you? He switches them around?
I don't know what the problem was there.
Maybe it's a Welsh problem.
I don't know.
So you don't know where he was born?
No, I don't. I guess one might be able to Google that. You've heard the story. He was in the Merchant Marine with my maternal grandmother's older brother for 10 years. And
10 years, wow.
routinely went to China and India. He was a good cook. I suppose that must have been where he acquired a taste for curry
Oh,
and would make curry dishes. He
Oh, really?
knew food. And he always did the shopping, apparently, for my grandmother when he would go to the wharf, Brighton being a seaside town, and Nanny would say, I'd like a nice piece of plaice. I don't know what plaice is here. I think it's something like sole.
yeah, it's a white fish.
Is
of
it?
sort. I
You know.
believe so, I think.
I don't know, I don't know the word here, but apparently in Europe it's used.
I'll look into it.
And he would know
Right.
which was the better lot.
So when he was basically on a boat then for 10 years, going around the world, and his job was he was the chef, or he happened to be a good
he wasn't the chef, he
cook.
was a sailor. I don't
Oh wow.
know what he did. But when and he met my grandmother when they came back, when he was visiting his shipmate's family in Brighton, and married Nanny, who was at least 10 years younger than he.
Well, he would have missed
She was
out on
14 in a family.
Was she really? And they all lived
They
to
all lived.
adulthood?
They did.
Wow. What do you remember what her mother's name was? This Wonder Woman who gave birth to 14.
Whom else? He had 2 wives. The first wife died
In childbirth? Probably. Really, was it in childbirth?
6 or 7.
Oh.
I can't swear to that, but she'd be worn out anyway.
Yeah.
6 or
Will
7.
anyone join me in a porch?
I would love one. Thank you.
Yes, this is wonderful having Susan.
Wow.
And he gave up merchant marine sailing, of course, when he became married, because he would never be home.
Do you know how he was gone for 10 years? Do you know? So did he meet Nanny at the end of the 10 years? Okay, good. So she didn't have to wait for him for several years if he was out to sea.
She was married at a very young age. She and Grandma Brash were born in the same year. Grandma
really?
Brash first in May.
1880?
May the 6th. Her birthday was
May
one day
6th.
after the boys.
Right. 1880, is it?
And Nanny's was in October, so there was about 6 months or so. Is that
Wow.
right?
Did
Between
they-
them. And the same difference between Isabel and my mother.
They met, I'm sure, did they? Nanny and Grandma
yes.
Brash? Yeah, they must.
Mary and I, well, Mary used to remember.
Thank
anyway.
you. Oh, lovely.
Where,
It's a good thing I had that other copy.
would we be? I want to say Pinafore Park. Is that near St. Thomas?
Yes, that's the one.
Somehow there was a London
Yeah.
family picnic there. And I was driving, maybe you were driving your father's car, and I was driving our little black Ford. And Mary was with me, and we were chauffeuring Grandma Brash and my grandmother. And they got along famously. They really, we were laughing all the time.
Oh, lovely.
Had all kinds of stories. They related to each other. because
Even though one was Scottish and one was English.
Should have been antagonists.
They weren't. In fact, your grandmother made a funny joke about what were we doing at another occasion? Washing dishes. And Nanny washed the tea towels in the soapy water after they were dry and rinsed them out and hung them up. And Grandma Brash said, we graduated from the same school. She used to do that too. So it was quite amusing.
I remember snippets of Grandma Brash. I think I can hear her voice. She kept her brogue, didn't she?
Yes, yes.
And she had a good sense of humor, didn't she? She was quite cheerful, wasn't she? And
She was. She, at 95, she died at 96, didn't she?
Yeah, right.
But I think it was at 95. I don't think she was very happy her last few months in the nursing home.
Oh, didn't she go on a food strike, a hunger strike?
I unfortunately didn't see her at all then. But before that, in her 90s, she said, life is sweet.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She had some funny expressions too. You could ask her what time it was, and she said, well, it's the back of 1 o'clock.
Oh, how far back of 1 o'clock?
Oh, you had to
What
guess.
does that mean?
Close to
10
1?
or something. I don't
Back of 1
know. It was
o'clock.
before 1 anyway. I think. Could have been after.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you had to look back to 1.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other ones?
Not offhand. I'm sure there were others.
And she lived with Aunt Agnes
Agnes.
Yeah.
till close to the end of her life, right?
When
And
Bill
then-
became very ill, Agnes's husband,
right.
she had looked after. Well, she and her husband moved into Terrace Street when your grandfather died.
Mm-hmm.
Because Grandma Brash was then 70 and far too old to be living on her own. They thought. So they sold their house, I gather.
They were side by side, weren't they? Or
Not
next,
quite.
just down the street?
I don't know.
I have a
You know.
really vague recollection that didn't some
Where they lived?
some
I was
of your
never in
family.
their house.
Oh no, that did you had some relatives on Grandma French's side who had houses a couple doors down from each other.
Oh,
didn't
Martha. Well, Martha lived
They? Oh well, I wouldn't have known that.
4 houses away from her parents on Terrace Street.
Oh, did she?
Oh, yeah.
She lived on Terrace Street
Yeah.
with the unfortunate alcoholic. Is that
Yes, yes,
Ah.
yes.
Well, that couldn't have been that because she'd already moved to was it Windsor? She was down,
Oh, yes, she did move to Windsor after the next marriage.
but no one that I would have. No one
Well,
around Aunt
Agnes
Agnes,
and Bill lived
or did they
about
live near their
2
children?
2
or
or 3 blocks away.
Oh, did
Oh.
they? Oh.
Adelaide Street.
Did any of their children live near them? I think I have a memory of just being able to walk from
What about
somebody's house
your
to another's.
grandfather's brothers? You had a cousin on the
Oh,
Brash
he
side.
lived, yeah, just on the next street behind them. You could walk
Maybe that
down the
was it.
lane.
Oh,
What was his name? Their son Matthew was killed at Cannes.
oh,
Named after your grandfather.
Yeah, yeah,
It was a Matthew.
oh. That's sad.
yeah.
So he's buried over there, presumably.
I guess so, yeah.
We encountered Matthew Brash's name in Lamb's Hill.
Oh, really?
4 years ago, this June. Yes, he was one of the founding members of the, what was it called, the little church?
Gospel Hall? or
Perhaps. Jane and Andrew have this information.
something.
What was that? Any connection to your Brash family?
Oh,
That
yeah,
Matthew
this was
Brash?
Matthew, the grandfather, the patriarch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. He
Before.
came to Canada in 1910 or
I think
but
so.
he's
Two
buried in
years.
Scotland?
to get a job in Canada, and he made what would it be? Metalwork, was it?
He was a molder.
A molder.
Oh,
And
for
they-
ceilings and probably was
Oh,
that
yeah.
it?
They made
Stovetops.
stovetops.
Oh,
It was a sand. He took me to work with him one day, and it was fascinating. Huge furnaces and
boy, it must have been hot.
pots of boiling steel on a
Frightening.
trolley wire, and he would take them over to this form the size of a stovetop, which was mostly sand. That was the mold, the form, and pour it in a couple of holes and became a stovetop. And I got 15 cents for my day's work.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Good.
Mom, could you turn the radio off? As lovely as her voice is, since I'm recording,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
we don't need to remember her for
Right.
all eternity. But he's buried in Scotland, so
No, I don't know how that misconception came in. He's in London.
right. Yeah, I think I remember Grandma Brash's.
Yeah, but before he
Stone.
came to Canada, he was a member of the church in Glasgow, I guess. Yeah, it would be Glasgow. Where did you see his name, dear?
On the little church. They had
And on the
Orphans.
east side of
Oh, I don't know
Scotland.
which side.
No, east side of this is I can't remember the name of the place. Where-
Lamb's Hill.
Oh, in Lamb's Hill. Well, maybe it was his father that had the same name, perhaps? Because Matthew Brash, the one you knew, he was
Was
buried in London Aunt.
Oh yes, yes.
So this is a relative
No, this is the same man as a
It was
young
just
man.
like a memorial plaque or something. Why was his name?
The church's history.
Oh, I was thinking a tombstone, but you didn't mean
I'm sorry.
dead
No,
and
it was
buried.
the history
I
of the
see.
church.
All right.
Founded, it said something like, I don't remember the year, probably early 1900s, because how old would he, well, we know how old. He was a bit older than Grandma Brash, who was born in 1880.
Scoot a bit over that way. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
Can you scoot a bit? I just,
Oh.
if you don't sit right by the arm, I can't get both of you in the same frame. So.
That's just as well.
Now.
So presumably, how many children did she have?
5.
No, but
Oh.
Gwen was not born in Scotland.
No, yes, 4 out of 5 were born.
So when, I presume, the youngest would be Martha?
No, Gwen is the youngest.
No, Gwen was born.
Oh, the youngest in Scotland. All right.
Was Martha. Matthew Brash left his wife with 4 children and lots of relatives around to help. And came to Canada, as I understand it. You should be telling this, you know it better than I. And 2 years later, he bought the house on Terrace Street.
Yep.
And the lot next to it. Which
He
was
did well in 2 years. My goodness. What was he, do you know what he was doing? And
I think he got a
Molding.
job immediately.
oh, right, in the molding right
McClary.
away.
McClary's
Oh.
Stoves.
What was the name of the stove company?
McClary.
McClary. MCCLAR.
MC capital L A-R-Y.
Oh, okay.
The stoves are probably still around, McClary.
could be.
It was only recently they were taken over by General Electric or one of the big corporations. They had a huge plant there on Adelaide Street.
Long gone, I'm assuming.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been in that neighborhood for a long time.
We should go to London sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could even, I don't know how well it is done in Canada, but we could go on to Google Maps and you can, it's like you're there. You can
Yeah,
see
isn't
the
that
buildings on the
amazing?
streets. And
Yes.
Wow.
so it might, I don't think they've done every street, so, but we could check. If you could guide me there on the map. So then did Grandma Brash have to come over by herself with the 4 girls? Did she have anyone helping, like a sister or somebody come with
Grandma
her?
French was
10, wasn't she 11?
Wasn't it
Yes.
The year before, the year after the Titanic.
They must have been
which would be
nervous.
scary.
Yes.
1913 they came.
Was it?
Right, 'cause
So your
12
mother
was
was
the-
12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and the
she
Titanic was
One of
1912.
the babysitters. I think she rather
Boy.
resented that because I think she helped a lot because Grandma Brash was prone to migraines, she said, and
So-
would sort of have to go to bed. And I think your mother was left with the children.
Oh, I see. Isabel would resent that because she was the right. Wow, yeah, that is young to have to be
Yes.
looking after. Wow, what a courageous thing to do with 4 small children, and that would take at least a week, right?
Oh, longer.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I imagine.
Do you know what
at
time
least.
of year it was? Hopefully not April. That's when the Titanic went.
I don't really
Andrew
know.
found, didn't he find that somehow on the computer their date of arrival? How did
Really?
he do that? He found a lot of the arrival
He must have.
of
I don't know.
immigrants. Mhm.
Well, that's where you can check your forebears.
Yes.
Oh, like the
yes.
Ancestry.com
Yeah,
type thing?
Is that what it is?
Oh, did he go do that? Oh, I
Yeah.
would have to hear about that.
I think
Did you do that before you left? When you went on your trip? A few years ago, I wonder.
No, I
I
think
think it's more recent.
more recently.
Yeah.
Wow.
We knew.
So they would have
when she
landed in Montreal? Halifax.
No, they landed in Montreal.
Montreal?
came. Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was so. And then they.
And could he
Perhaps
go,
Matthew
do you
would
think?
meet them
I hope.
there, and they'd all go by train, I guess.
Wow.
I guess they did. I've never heard about that part of the trip. But it's
That
pretty-
would be like
Coming in a new
Yeah,
land.
yeah.
would be the common way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
On a steam engine, of course. I
Oh,
guess.
yes,
Would
yes.
take them to London.
Yeah, until the early 50s.
And didn't your grandmother take Gwen, who was born, she's 9 years older than you,
Yes, yes.
so she was born in 1917.
17? Yeah.
They came over in 1914.
Yeah, right.
13.
13.
Did you say? Yeah.
So,
Before the war, that was good. They got out.
Yeah.
but it was
Time.
just after the Titanic.
Yes, that must have
which
been frightening.
Dwelt on one's mind.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it did.
Considering.
Icebergs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mark should be up here. You should take him. on this.
Yeah, he can come up.
He saw the grandmothers when he was with the Blue Rodeo often.
Oh,
Very
right. 'cause he-
kindly took them to the show, too, which they loved.
I'm sure they did. And then Grandma French, she just lived in the 2 houses in all her life, didn't she? Oh no, I guess 3. One in Lambs Hill, but then
Oh, yes.
Terrace Street, and then Sterling
Sterling,
Street.
and then
Oh, and then the
the
right.
retirement
I don't.
home,
Yeah.
yes. What was that called? Chelsea Gardens?
Chelsea
Oh
Gardens.
wow.
Yeah.
I think I just got there once. There's a picture of me with both grandmothers the summer I was married when I came home to pack up. And there's a picture of me sitting on her couch with both she and Grandma Rollo. But I think that was the only time I was there.
Very fortunate that all of them were healthy and
Yeah, I
managed.
remembered that photograph. They looked lovely. Both of them did. And they, well, it was 1986, so they wwere 86. Well, you look lovely too, Mom, and you just have a few more years till that age.
Oh, you're too kind. Well,
It
yes,
occurred-
when we brought our mothers to France to meet them in,
Was it 89, maybe? Well, it was in Toulouse, and we moved there in 88.
right.
And they were there before Jeremy,
Mhm.
so it must have been 89.
But it was early in the year, was it not? February or something like
Yes,
that?
yes, I think it was. Maybe, I guess you were still working, so maybe it was, did you get there and
Oh, we
back
had to take
in the
2 weeks
Ryerson
off or something.
break?
Holiday.
Did you work at
80.
Ryerson until right at the end of the
you
Globe? Or
finished Ryerson by then.
82, I finished.
Yes.
Yeah.
82, oh, so quite a,
It was a long
Ways
time.
before.
'Cause I went to, I think, your first lecture, and I was pregnant with Jane.
yeah, I'd forgotten you started so far back. I thought it was something you started in the 70s, but obviously not.
No, oh no.
And it was always 2 days, 2 mornings a week that you were getting up
I
early?
think
And
in the early days, it was probably one, because it was only one class. But as the enrollment grew,
He was so popular that everybody wanted his class. So he had to make
I don't know
more.
about that.
Oh, yes, I've been told that by
Classes got
former
bigger and-
students.
Bigger and bigger. By the time I left in 82, there were 4 classes,
wow.
2 in each morning.
And you were doing all 4?
Yeah.
Were you? Oh, yes. Because I remember over time your schedule changing and you getting up earlier. And
Yeah, yeah.
I used to see you for breakfast when I was in junior high because I was on the gymnastics
days,
team.
yes.
Well, I was on the gymnastics team, and I it's funny how you wouldn't do that now, I don't think. I would walk over to the junior high at 6:45 in the morning in the dark, all by myself, and there was nobody else much around. Yeah, I would never have let Emily do that at that same age. But different days, different times. But I remember I would see you on those mornings more.
Yeah. Well, how it got started, the year we came back from Harvard, 55, one of the first calls I had to say, I'm glad you're home, was Ted Schrader, who was the director of the journalism course. And he had this crazy idea that since I'd been to Harvard studying journalism,
Very
I should be
astute
teaching.
gentleman, yes.
but he didn't realize I wasn't taking journalism at Harvard. They
Oh, yeah, they didn't even have a
They didn't
journalism
have a
school, right?
journalism. They didn't
They
want
called
one.
it, oh no, it was the business school they didn't like. in those
Right.
days.
How did he know you from before Harvard? If he wasn't at the Globe, just he'd read you, maybe he'd read your columns, your reports.
I
'Cause-
wasn't doing books.
no, but you were a reporter.
When did the journalism school start at Ryerson?
3 or 4 years before
Before that, oh,
Yeah.
so he would know all the local
Yeah.
journalists. He would read columns, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be mandatory daily to cover all the papers, I should think, for a journalism
Because
school.
before, sorry, I'm stopping you in your tracks a bit, but before Harvard, your beat was City Hall, wasn't it? But I remember you
Yes.
talked about fires. You were covering, was that right at the beginning?
Cub reporter.
Oh, yeah, it's a police reporter.
Police. Oh, so not just fire.
Well,
Crime.
everyone remembers that because there was a press room at police headquarters on College Street. The old building is still there. It's now part of the art school. And in the press room, the reporters from the Telly and the Star and the Globe would sit there listening to the police radio, which would give directions
Right.
to police cars to go here because there's an accident or a domestic problem or whatever.
Some nights were dull, so
Yeah.
I was living on St. George Street at Pi-Fi House. And where was Margie living?
I can't remember.
And your father's best man was a reporter on the telly, wasn't
Yeah.
Mm.
And so we,
Competition.
Margie and I would meet them at the police headquarters, and we had bridge games.
Until the radio chirped in.
Yeah, there's been a murder.
I don't ever remember you having to run off. We must have
Well, most of it
Picked your
in those
lucky.
days.
They were quiet nights, I
It
guess.
was fairly quiet in those days. Toronto was not the city it is now. But eventually the police said, no women in here. You can't have women in here.
Oh, they're bad influences.
We had to stop our bridge games.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have been upset.
Yeah.
Guess they thought you'd get distracted and wouldn't listen to the radio
Miss the calls,
dispatches.
yes.
I guess.
That's what I thought.
All right, so he had read you probably. Because did you have a byline then? If when you reported something,
Rarely.
did it say
They
William
were very
French?
careful with them then. They figured if you got a byline, you'd ask for more money.
Oh,
So they didn't give you one very often.
well, you must have had one
But
at
you
some
had
time
enough
if
to
they'd
command attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
noticed you at Ryerson.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got back from Harvard and he called you.
To come and teach, what was it called?
Critical, right?
No, it had nothing to do with critical writing in those days.
Editorial?
Principles of journalism.
Oh,
something,
I see.
something high-minded
Oh,
like
very,
that.
very good, yes.
After all, I'd been to Harvard. Yeah, so that worked out pretty well.
Do you remember your very first class, your first day of your first class?
Not
Because you
the
hadn't
first
done any
day.
teaching
I
before
think
that,
I
had you?
was there at one of the very first.
Oh, that's right.
if
You said
not
when
the
Jane was
first.
when you were praying with Jane.
No, it wouldn't have been the first. No, you'd been doing it for a couple of months.
Yeah. I think right away I decided that they should know how to do editorial writing. That
Bravo.
journalism wasn't just going out and covering a news story, a fire or a murder or something,
Yes.
where you had to answer the, what was it, 5 questions? Or who, where, what, when, and why. Oh, here's Mark.
Oh, good. Susan, you should jump in here, dear.
Jump in?
Looks like he has
Yes.
to go.
Do you have a deadline?
I can't believe it's 3:30. We can pause for now, but it's 3:30 actually. So
Yeah, time for lunch.
time for